Yo guys, what's going on? Ace is here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you cannot reset your skill tree in Arc Raiders until you do an expedition. A lot of people have been wondering, why can't I respec my entire skill tree? And the reason for that is most likely because of how good security breach lockers are. And let me explain, because this might sound like a very specific and odd reason, but I think it makes sense in my head. And there is a way that Embark could kind of counter this, but I think they just want to encourage people to do their expeditions if they want to respec or reset, whatever word you like to use, respecialize or reset your skill tree. So if we come in here to our skill tree, right? I think 9 out of 10 people probably went with mobility first, so you could unlock the max stamina. I mean, max stamina is an absolute game changer and definitely something you should focus on. And most likely, after you figured out where you wanted to stop in mobility, you probably went to conditioning to get some of the other stamina skills and maybe a little bit of the other stuff a little further in the tree. But once it came out how good the security lockers are, everybody was wondering, how do I reset my skill tree? The security lockers pretty much guarantee, if you have a set of 2 of them at least, they pretty much guarantee an epic weapon. The reason you can't reset slash respec your skill tree is because everybody right now would be resetting and getting the security breach skill. What this would then allow players to do is stack an entire stash full of epic weapons, and then they could respec again back to their old skill tree. So this makes sense to me if this is actually the reason. If Embark wanted the security breach skill to be coveted, they wanted to lock it behind 36 levels, they knew that once people found out how good these were, they would want to reset everything. They would do this first. They knew. So that is why the option is not available, because people would just go back and forth. They would just go to the security breach skill, take the hit on stamina, take the hit across the board on everything else, stack up their stash with multiple epic weapons, and then they would reset it again and go back to their old tree and rinse and repeat anytime they need to restock. This is most likely, in my opinion, why they did not allow it. Now, will they in the future? Maybe. Is this something that they could tweak a little bit and still offer it? Maybe you do this once a month, twice during an expedition window. Maybe if you get 30 days into, the current resource gathering, you could get a reset. It's one of those things where at this point, because the expeditions do happen every 2 months, it's almost not even worth it for them to do. Everybody just wants to reset their trees now because they want the security breach skill, and it makes sense. It's loaded, and everybody right now is in the early game, and they want the end game weapons. But in a couple of months, are people really going to want to do that? Probably not. They're going to be able to get everything they want, or they're going to go on an expedition, and they're just going to max out their survival tree first anyway. So it really doesn't matter. In my opinion, I think Embark kind of cooked with this. They kind of just bottlenecked all of us behind moving fast, having our stamina, being able to do more things very quickly, get out of sticky situations, just survive. Or we can have the best weapons, but be slow and be forced to kind of just stand our ground and fight. I think they absolutely cooked with this skill tree, and I also think not allowing respecs was actually the right call. If security lockers and this skill, the security breach skill, didn't exist, I think we'd be having a very different conversation. But I think right now in the current environment, the way things are, they balanced it pretty well, in my opinion. So I will not get the security breach skill until level 71. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be quite a while until I actually get the security breach skill. And by then, I'll probably either just be able to buy whatever I want or craft whatever I want. So at that point, it really won't even matter. The security breach skill really comes in handy on the free kit, which essentially, it's just one of those things. It just makes those free kits even better. So it really depends on if you're penny pinching, if you like free loadouts, if you don't mind making your own kit, and you don't mind spending your coins and your materials and crafting the stuff. you know, I wouldn't even worry about it. But as for why you can't reset your entire skill tree, I think this is the reason, and I'd love to hear if you think I'm wrong, you think there's another reason behind it. I just can't think of one, and I think this makes the most sense. So do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like, make sure you're considering subscribing to the channel. I'm not going to force you. You don't have to, but consider subscribing for more Arc Raiders. I'd love to have you around. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.